Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the course of Data Structures and Algorithms CS 211. I am your instructor Dr. Zishan Iqbal, Assistant Professor in Institute of Computing. Today is lecture number 5, in which we will be talking about a new data structure named array. Objectives of today's topic include: what are arrays, concept of array, why do we need arrays, how to create an array in C++, and how to access a specific array value. Let's start it with what are the arrays. Array is a container which can hold a fixed number of items, and these items should be of the same type. Most of the data structures make use of arrays to implement their algorithms. Formally, we can define array as: an array is a data structure for storing more than one item that has similar data type. The items of an array are allocated at adjacent memory locations. These memory locations are called elements of that array. The total number of elements in array is its length. The details of an array are accessed about its position. This reference is called as index or subscript of array. To introduce the concept of array, this diagram illustrates three things. Number 1, an array is a container of elements. Number 2, elements have a specific value and data type, like ABC, true or false values, and etc. are integer values as well. Number 3, each element has its own index, which is used to access the elements. For example, we can see that the array length is 4 in the diagram, where the first index is referred by 0 index and the last index can be accessed using 3 value as an index value. For implementation, we have some key points referring array. Elements are stored in a contiguous memory locations. An index is always be less than the total number of array items, as we know that in C++ the index of a first value will be 0. In terms of syntax, any variable that is declared as an array can store multiple values depending upon the size of array. Almost all languages have the same comprehensions of array but have different ways of declaring and initializing them. However, 3 parts will always remain common in all the initialization, that is, array name, elements, and the data type of elements. To understand the syntax of array, we have to supply basic 3 things: array name, data types, and number of elements. For example, in C++ we have to write integer space, then we have to supply the array name, as we can see that here it is written as balance, and in square brackets we have to provide the size of an array. Further, we can initialize it in curly bracket as well. This will create an array with the name of balance, and the balance will contain 3 memory location in consecutive order, and the arrays can be referred as elements can be referred as balance 0, balance 1, and balance 2. Why we do need arrays? Because Arrays are used when there is a need to use many variables of the same type. It can be defined as a sequence of objects which are of the same data type. It is also used to store a collection of data, and it is more useful to think of array as a collection of variables of the same type. Arrays can be declared and used. A programmer has to specify the type of elements and the number of elements which are required by an array. This will be referred as to single dimension array. There are three basic reasons for using array. Arrays are best for storing multiple values in a single variable. Number 2, arrays are better at processing many values easily and quickly. Number 3, sorting and searching the values is easier in arrays as compared to other data structures. C++ language is more flexible when it comes to creating arrays. Ways to declare an array in C++: we can declare an array in three basic syntax variants. This depends whichever suits your program. The choice is also dependent on your program requirement as well. First method of creating is an array is referred to as declaration by size. In the syntax we can see that we have to provide the data type and then its name, and in square bracket the size of array. For example, we can write as integer balance of 3. This will create an array of balance with 3 integer variables. Second method of creating an array is referred to as declaration initialization arrays item only. Syntax include data type, array name, and we have to provide the array items in curly brackets in front of their array name. For example, we can write as integer balance is equal to 300, 200 and 100. This will create an array of size 3 with 300 as first value, 200 as second value and 100 as third value. Third type of array creation is referred to as declaration by size and initializing array items. As we can see, the syntax is data type, then we have to supply the array name and we have to provide the array size as well, and afterwards we have to supply the array items as well. Let's see in example. We have written as integer balance of 3. This will create an array of balance with size 3 of integers, and in next phase we have also provided the array values as 300, 200 and 100 as well. You can access any array item by using its index. For example, we have to write the array name and in square brackets we have to mention the index number. For example, we can see that we have to write the array name as balance and in square brackets we have written 1. This will refer to the second elements of array balance. Diagrammatically, we can see that we have accessed the second value of array using its index, which is 1. The output of this will be 200, which is basically the second value of balance array. By referring the index number of an element, you can get its value. For example, as we can write as balance 1. This will refer to as array named as balance and the second value of that array. Now if we create an array of name balance of size 3 with 3 values as 300, 200 and 100. After that, in C++ we have to write cout for printing, and in front of cout we have written as balance of 1. So the output will be 200, as the index number 1 refers to the second element of an array.
Array is a collection of items stored at continuous memory locations. The idea is to declare multiple items of same type together. For an array of size n, the elements are stored from index 0 to n-1, like this. Here, the size of array is 9 and values are stored from index 0 to 8. There are multiple ways of declaring an array. To declare an array, we just write the data type for that array, followed by its name and the size in square brackets, like this. Now suppose we need to declare and initialize an array. We do it like this. We write all the elements in curly brackets. This line declares an array of size 4 and initializes it to the values in curly brackets. Let's run this code. We can see that all the values of this array are printed. In C++, there is no out of bounds index error, but the output may be unexpected when we run the code. Let's suppose this code. We are storing values at index -3 and 4, which are not present in this array. Let's run this code. We can see that we are getting garbage or unexpected output. In an array, the elements are stored in contiguous memory locations. Let's see how this works. We have an array of size 5 and we are printing the address of array using the ampersand operator. We can see that 5 blocks of size integer are allocated by the compiler when we run this code. This proves that contiguous memory location is done by the array.
All the material of the slides are taken from these two books, and these are mentioned in the course outlines as well. They are the reference books. In the end, I want to thank you all. You can ask any question on the KCMS platform directly.